Hello, my name is DC. I'll be giving a match analysis for Al Hilal versus Al Nassr. Let's get into this one. Okay, this is where the match starts, and there's a lot of good atmosphere in these Saudi Arabian games here. Saudi managed to go short. It's good because sometimes you just have to test the keeper, not really with the aim to score, but just with the aim of trying to see how good, not really how good he is, but how he saves. John Durham there should have scored. Let me just look for look. Ooh, now you see that. I think this was off the transition here because as you can see, there's a funny. Let me just draw a line. All right, so this is the furthest player back, so we'll base it. We'll base the line off him there and there. I think this is done from the transition because he has pushed higher up and he has pushed higher up. It's more like kind of a zigzag line, and I really don't know why it's like that. I think, yeah, that's why I do assume it's off the transition because I do see people running back. It's to the extent that there are more Al Nassr players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are more Al Nassr players than Al Hilal players, so it's possible for them to play it around. I mean, they're understaffed. And then, it's so, I don't know, it's one thing when you're understaffed, and it's another thing when you have someone that's near the ball but not applying that much pressure on the ball. So it allows for passes like this to be created because you didn't at least force him to rush the pass. Maybe force him to rush the pass. Maybe just put pressure. You never know what can happen. And then here, that's a really good take. But unfortunately, if he had played it there, playing it into someone. Because you can see Ronaldo there, he knows that it should have reached him. And that's a lovely goal, and it's one of the worst things to concede before halftime. Alright, let's analyze that corner routine. Alright, so already there's a problem. There is a big problem. You see here, there is completely no one from Al Hilal. They give Al Nassr all the time and space because you're supposed to have a defensive player here just within, just maybe on this line or even in the D, because this is where the ball normally drops when it's headed away from goal, and you do that to avoid people taking shots first time. Again, considering it's a corner routine, they knew that it's a tendency for Al Hilal not to put players here. I mean, he just had so much time on the ball because everyone is so deep into the box. And the thing is that, look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They could afford to put even 2 people here because there are only 4 Al Nassr players in the box. They could afford to put 2 people here and they would still be alright. I mean, they just didn't do it well here. They just didn't. They're too deep, and they're mostly zonal marking. It's not that it's a bad thing, but tend to leave spaces and people unmarked. So look at this. He gets the ball. That's how much time he has. That is how much time he has. And that's a great finish. But it's because they left them so much space. I mean, the fact that this ball was played on the floor is bobbling, which means that it's not going as fast as it could. I think people were late to recognize the danger. It's just that I can't play this in slow motion, but let's see how people come out. Look at this. Most of them are jogging. There instead of fully sprinting, fully dashing. And he has the composure and quickness to get the shot out of his feet. And ooh, that is a lovely goal. Because on this angle we can't see the ball, but it just dips just to go right under that post. He was not catching that. He was never catching that. Yeah, but better defense could have. Just having someone on that particular area could have prevented that goal. Alright, so this is one of those, not really I think it's hold up / link up play. Because as we can see here, Ball gets played in. I think that's Ronaldo. He knows there's someone on his back, and he's not at the age where he can fully like sprint. Okay, he can sprint, but the ball will most likely be taken away from him. So at this point, he does very well here. He gets the ball, plays first time pass, and then boom, just like that. Because in most cases, other people, whenever the ball comes to them, they just want to take on the man, take on the man, take on the man. Sometimes the best thing to do, keep possession and build from there. This is a lovely pass that's played to Mane, and that's a lovely finish. Once again, they're upset because they know that that goal could be prevented. Because at this point, already here, you have left Ronaldo all alone. I understand you're focusing your efforts on Mane because he's with the man with the ball. I understand that, but you don't leave him because once that ball reaches him, sometimes it's done because he can be such a great finisher. John Duran here also unmarked, so you have two players unmarked. I do feel he could have gotten closer to him. He could have trusted his teammate more so that he deals that 1-on-1 alone and just blocks off this pass to Duran. Because I mean, if you go there and you commit yourself, you have to get the ball. Because if you don't get the ball, you have just left John Duran unmarked. Here he's in a position, the defensive player. He is close, but not really close enough. Close enough he can stretch, but I don't think it's close enough such that he'll be able to get anything on the ball. Sadio Mane here brilliantly lays it off. Ronaldo first time finish because he knew that if he took a touch, he would immediately get marked. See. Look at that. This was just very quick play, very good link up play between the players. Now here, Mane dummies. He baited him into doing that because this ball could have gone anywhere. John Duram, Ronaldo, and the keeper does make the assumption that Ronaldo was going to go and score into this particular corner, but instead he takes it there. Because I'm sure he noticed the keeper's momentum was taking him this side, so he thought, if he's going this side, let me take it here because it's very difficult for him to quickly change his position to go and save his shot. Yeah, but if you're going to commit, that's why sometimes just trust your man because if he gets beaten, you'll be there to cover for him. If you both go at the same time, it means that two players will be taken out of the game. Alright, this is a ball that's played. That's a lovely first time pass. I think a similar situation happened. I don't know which game I was watching where a player let the ball run past him. I've forgotten the match that I was. Really hurts. It really hurts. Otherwise, I've forgotten, but I'll try and remember it. Cause look at the ball that's played. Here's the thing. If you do it, this is one thing. It's one of those things whereby I would rather he just follows the ball because once you do that, you have to readjust yourself, which takes some vital seconds in which the person can be setting up their shot. But he does do well here. He misses it and forces the player. Not really forces. I mean, he just notices the man is unmarked. This is definitely off the transition. He is alone in the box. But now what kills him here is his first touch. Because a better first touch, he would have been able to lay it off and score. And I think the keeper does make a save but this is a really lovely ball. The fact is unmarked in the box. The player number 2 here, he could have got a cross earlier. He could have definitely gotten across earlier because let's look at this. I think it's also, I don't know. But at least he is in a position to affect. But I don't know, I just feel as if he could have gotten there earlier. But that first touch, a better first touch he scores, and that's a great save from the keeper. That's a lovely goal. And this is what sometimes corners are all about. It's not necessarily that you're scoring from the first contact, but you're hoping to. Sometimes you lay it off with someone. Sometimes you're just hoping that you're able to cause chaos and it leads to a goal. Milinkovic Savic is a very top player and should be very well marked. Also at the back post. So if we can see here, even though it's really hard to see, you see that there's the Al Hilal player and the two Al Nassr players in between him. I wonder how he scores. Milinkovic Savic simply lays it off. Gela passes it to his teammate. I think that's Koulibaly. No, it's not. So yeah, they were just ball watching. John Duram. This should never be happening. This should never be happening. Pepe and Ramos would never let this happen, as I've mentioned in another video. Because what Pepe and Ramos would do, rather than, oh sorry, Pepe and Ramos, rather than play nice in this particular situation, what they would do, they would squeeze. He budges his shoulder into you. He also budges his shoulder into you so that it doesn't look like a foul, and then you end up getting, and then you end up going down. That's what Pepe and Ramos do. Because here I do feel the Al Hilal players are too soft. They are way too soft because there's no way a player moves in between you, and yeah, just like that. Here in Zambia, we have a saying, you can't pass in between two players. You can't. You get tackled, and it's very rare that the ref will give the foul. Because if two players are unable to stop one, and it's not like at this point he can't really do much because John Duram is in front of him and the ball is bouncing. Because if we just take it back, I mean, look at this. They were in front of him. Yes, they are ball watching, but at this point, this is where, if you want, have one stand in front of John Duram, block him off so the other one can go. Because it's not a foul, since John Duram is not in control of the ball, he is not in possession of the ball. You block him off, and then you go on, and then the other player comes and covers for you. But this, it's just way too easy. It's just too easy. And also, do not take away from John Duram's commitment, but it's just way too easy. He shouldn't even be able to do that in the first place. And it leads to a foul, which it is. And the big man scores. See. Is he still doing? This reminds me of his other game for Portugal where he did do the same run up and it didn't really end well for him. I think in that game he took too many steps. In this one, he tries to bait the keeper, but Bono, it's really funny because Bono, the man that knocked Ronaldo out of the World Cup, also from the Saudi, I don't know if it's the Saudi Cup or something. Yeah, he also knocked him out from there. So I'm sure Ronaldo has some personal vendetta against the keeper. So he skips a bit and keeps his momentum. That's what he was. So in this case, the difference between the Portugal penalty and this one is that in that Portugal penalty, he was hoping for the keeper to lie down. He took too many steps, and Kasper Schmeichel was able to read it here. He stops a bit, and then he just decides he's going to hit it. Major difference there. And yeah, Nassr beat Al Hilal. Ronaldo got a brace, and yeah, Al Nassr get the win. That's been my match analysis. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.